New tourism is a tourism that is driven by technology, but most importantly, it's driven by new travelers, new customers who want to be the same thing we're talking about, who want to be authentic, want to be different, want to experience rather than just come for sun, sand, and sea and take photographs. They want to be in the photographs and they want to be part of the creation. And I think this is where the whole change is actually taking place in terms of where we are heading, not only for travel and tourism, but for the world really. In the past, a traveler would leave Europe and go to Spain in a rigidly packaged holiday. They would leave England and go for this holiday. The holiday was fixed. You went for 7 days, you stayed in this hotel, you did this tour, you did that. Everything was fixed and everything was the same. Now, the technology allows you today to mix and match your own holiday. Today you can go one way, you can go 2 ways, you can go halfway. So in other words, the technology allows the flexibility of travel, and this is what people are taking advantage of. They're not fixed, they're not stuck. So this is where people are combining different types of products, experiences. So you go with a flight and you come back with a boat. You go one way and you go somewhere else. You land in Trinidad but you leave from Tobago. You land in Tobago but you leave from Barbados. So in other words, this whole creativity and this whole flexibility is what the technology begins to offer. So the technology is a facilitator. So when you talk about technology and tourism, the technology is so amazing that it allows this level of flexibility for the traveler, for the customer. It allows you even to find the best prices, the best combination. It packages for you. So it's really very, very amazing. And destinations, companies that don't adopt the technology will be losing. I think some of us are doing it. You have some companies that are taking advantage of the technology, some destinations, but we nowhere close to where we could actually be in terms of controlling that technology. Because at the end of the day, those who control the customers are the ones who actually control everything. And still too much in the Caribbean, we have no control of the customer. Somebody else is controlling that customer, whether it's the tour operators of old or whether it's the technology of the future. But I think a lot of us are just too lazy to control that information ourselves, because at the end of the customer comes to us. Do we know that customer? Where they come from, what they liked, what they didn't like? Are we collecting that data? Whether it's from customs and immigration, whether it's from your own property, whether it's from your tour, we are too lazy. And we could do so much more, and the technology allows us, so we could be doing much more to optimize our processes and to make more money at the end of the day. I think we don't see data as yet and technology as an investment rather than we see too much of a cost. I think part of it is the mindset. I think too often we have seen tourism because it's natural. You know, you build a hotel and people will come because we have a nice environment, because we have all of these things. But I think more and more we need to do more and more planning, data mining, data collection. We need research analysis. We would not be ahead of the game if we're not doing our research. It requires funding, but first of all, it requires a vision. It requires the understanding that this is necessary and important. And a lot of us have the tools, but we're not using it.